Hey everybody! Well, it's Wednesday, so I'm gonna get into my video for the week. And actually, I have been thinking on this topic for the past couple weeks, and last weekend, a whole lot of things started happening that kind of cemented what I wanted to talk about today. Now, first of all, if you watch Basketball Wives, last week's episode, before the big Evelyn and Royce fight, there was a scene where Royce was talking to her dad. And if you know anything about her in the show, she dates guys off and on and claims to keep herself sexually from these guys for at least 6 months, okay? So in the scene, she's talking to her dad. Now, her dad met the guy that she was dating last season. So this season, she's talking to her dad and she's telling him, he's different from the other guys and she really likes him. And her dad is like, I think you need to slow down. You never have really taken time to just be with you. You're always with somebody. And, you're moving way too fast with this guy. Just slow it down. So she actually in the same scene, she is, just starts crying for one. She starts crying and she's like, Dad, I'm sick of being by myself. I'm in this huge house alone and I'm desperate. And, he's a great guy. He's not like the other guys. And she's just going on and on and on, crying to her dad about her woes as a single woman, if you will. Her, she's gone through this, she's gone through that. He's great. I'm tired. And basically, to me, I mean, you could hear the desperation in her voice. You could see it on her face. And she basically said, I'm sick of being by myself. I'm sick of doing the chores all alone. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of that. And to me, it just sounded like a woman who did not want to be alone. It sounded like desperation. If you know anything about desperation, it means that you have lost all hope. You feel nothing can be done, and it's the end of the line for you. So in this scene, she's just going on and on and on and on and on, and just crying to her dad about her loneliness. And basically to me, it sounds like this man is an easy fix for my loneliness. But anyway, also this past weekend, I had an opportunity to go to a singles revival in Delaware. And the pastor in this revival, Pastor Glendon Jones, he said, and I'm paraphrasing because I forgot to, I wrote down the quote, but I lost it. But he said, essentially what he was saying was, when we're desperate, we are going to miss what God has for us. If we are at the point where we feel all hope is gone, and I'm sure a lot of us have been there, we will take and reach out for whatever we can. We're not going to wait on God. We are going to do whatever we can do to get what we want. So, I mean, that's my question for you guys today, too. Have you ever been so alone, or have you ever been to the point where you were so desperate that you were going to take it however you could get it? Maybe you just broke up with somebody and you were alone. You're not used to being alone. And there are some people who cannot be alone. There are some people that are so used to having someone in their life, they need a gap filler. They need somebody just to be there, even if that person is not really what they would normally accept in their lives. Just somebody, just to have somebody, just to say that I got somebody. And you're desperate. You have reached the point of desperation if you're willing to settle for someone who may not be the one that you would normally accept in your life. And there are many women and many men who really are that way. They're really desperate. They won't say it. Fine, if you want to say if they're in denial, you can say they're in denial, but they would rather have someone in their life than be alone. And to be at that point for us, you guys, is not good. And you know what? In the end, it's going to hurt the other person. And I have been dealing with this the past couple of weeks myself. Being alone, and for the most part, thank God, I can enjoy my own company. But there are times, you guys, when I'm lonely, when I'm by myself, when I do get that call, that text message, and I'm thinking, they're thinking about me, so maybe we can hang out because I'm by myself and I'm alone. But I'm not going to do it. And this past weekend, like I said, I seen the show on Basketball Wives and went to the singles meeting in Delaware, and just that has been put into my mind that I don't have to be desperate. I can hold out for the big payday. I can wait on what God has for me, and I don't have to just fill up my space and fill up my time with you because I'm alone. And like I said, there's two sides to that. When you do that to someone, especially when that person is not someone you would normally have in your life, you're really hurting them and you really don't know that you are. So, again, what I want to do every week is encourage you guys. Um, again, I would never tell anybody what to do. You guys are grown and adults. You can do that on your own. But I just want to admonish you this week. If you are in a situation where you feel like you are desperate, and maybe you're in a relationship and it happened because you just accepted this person in your life because you were desperate. So I just want to say to you, of course, I would never tell you to end a relationship because that's not what I'm here to do. What I'm here to do is just tell you, if you're desperate, first of all, if you have a relationship with God, go to God about it. That's really all you can do. And aside from reevaluating the relationship, how it came about, do you love this person, do you enjoy being with this person, or is this person just taking up your time, just to fill your time? Because hey, I have considered the gap filler, but you have to remember this too, you guys, when you take someone in your life. Let's just use the example. I just broke up with someone a couple months ago, and I'm alone and I'm lonely and I just want someone in my life. So I meet Mr. So and so and we start dating, and he really has nothing on the list. We're going to talk about the list next week, you guys, but he has nothing on the list at all. He's mildly attractive. His teeth are okay. They're not like the teeth that I want, but his teeth are okay. He has a relationship with God. He has the bare minimums. Bare minimum. But me and him start dating, and we date for over a year. Now remember, this is not a man that I would ever consider marrying. This is not the man that I want. He's not the man on the list. And meanwhile, I'm missing out, potentially missing out. No, no, I'm scratch that. You are missing out on the man that God has for you, or woman, because you are wasting your time with this individual. So this person is in your sight when really they should be out of the way. You're missing on the man behind the guy in your sight. So I can't even see the man that's supposed to be for me. His face is blocked by someone who's not even supposed to be there. So, and that just reminds me of Pastor Jones, what he was saying. When we're desperate and we accept anything, we're going to miss what God has. And the gap filler, his head is in front of the man that's supposed to be really mine. The man I'm supposed to be seeing, I can't see him because I got this decoy in front of me. So, I first of all just want to tell you ladies, I'm talking to the ladies because right now it's something that I'm going through. Um, when you come out of relationships, you don't have to be desperate. You can wait on what God has for you. Men, same for you. You don't have to find a woman just to fill the space because you're lonely or you're afraid of being lonely. It's going to waste your time and maybe ruin your life, or maybe even ruin the plan that God has for you in your life. Um, so again, don't lose hope, because that's what it means when you reach the point of desperation. You've lost hope. And I just want to encourage you guys not to lose hope, whatever it is, whatever the situation is, just putting men and women aside. Whatever the situation is, don't lose hope. And like I said, I've been going through this the past couple of weeks, even in my finances. I was getting to the point where I was like, what am I going to do to get this money, and trying to think of ways to get money. And I don't want to chase that. I don't want to chase a man. I don't want to chase money. I don't want to chase anything. The only thing I need to be chasing is God. And um, he's going to work everything out. Even back to the point of being desperate. I don't have to be desperate, you guys. You don't have to be desperate because God has it worked out. And to the people that I do know who are in relationships because you didn't want to be alone or you couldn't be alone, I'm just asking you to reevaluate things, um, and just know that you don't have to be desperate. You don't have to be the point where you have lost all hope, because God, he brings us joy. He brings us life. He brings us hope. And I have hope because of him. If you look around, especially in the place that I'm in right now in my life, even the city I'm in, um, to me, it's impossible to find what I want to find aside from going out. There's no men here. In my opinion, there's no men here. So, um, a lot of times I feel defeated because I say where I'm at, it can't be here. But God has it all worked out. And again, just always wanted to encourage you guys. And this week, my encouragement is don't be desperate. It's so not necessary and so not a good look, because you'll take anything and you'll essentially be missing what God has for you. So that's what I have for you guys this week. Next week, and that's something too. I have to apologize. I've been kind of off on my video, but next week I'll be seeing you guys next Wednesday, and hopefully you have a good rest of the week and a good weekend. And I will talk to you soon. All right.